What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Wild Echo. My name is Parker, and I am here once again for the Raw Rundown, where I go through Raw of the week and I give the parts that I enjoyed an up, while I give the parts that I did not enjoy a down. This week is February 12th of 2018. The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is quickly approaching, and so the card is becoming a little more um, intact. I don't know if that's a great word to use, but it's coming together. It's coming together a little bit, and we are getting all of the members of the Elimination Chamber matches. So that's fun. So let's look at this week's Raw and see what we thought of it. So we start off with John Cena coming out. Ugh, not a big fan of John Cena personally, but John comes out. He puts on a pretty good promo talking about how it's really important for him to win the Elimination Chamber because if he loses Elimination Chamber, then he doesn't think that he has another match at WrestleMania, which I hope is true. Honestly, no offense, John, but I hope it's true. I hope to God it's not versus the Undertaker, because that would be the worst ever. Undertaker, stay away. And then Miz comes out and Bryce Sean tells John he has no chance against Brock Lesnar. He puts out this really good line saying that John is the founding father of Suplex City, which is really great, and says that the Miz can beat Brock Lesnar because he's not going to play Brock Lesnar's game. He's going to play the Miz's game, and he's going to do whatever he can to get the advantage. And there was a little bit back and forth. It was really good between these two. These two have good chemistry. They're both good talkers. So it was all really good. And the ending of the promos was where John Cena challenges The Miz to a match that will be happening right after this. And he says that whoever loses will have to enter the chamber first, which means they have the least likely chance of winning. So Miz accepts after the Miztourage beats up John Cena a little bit. And the promos really good. Both guys are super talented on the mic. Miz more so, I believe, but it's getting up. So we go into the match between Cena and Miz, and it was a little longer than I would have liked it to be, in all honesty. But it was an alright match. We've seen these two together a lot, though, so I kind of was a bit bored with it just because it's something we've seen a lot. But it was fair enough of a match, and that I'm going to give it an up. And so the match ends with obviously John Cena winning because, of course, John Cena won, which means the Miz is going to be the first entrant in the Elimination Chamber this year. So next we had a match between the Revival versus Anderson and Gallows. This was kind of the rubber match, I guess. The club picked up the first victory, and then the Revival picked up a victory at the Royal Rumble kickoff show. So the Revival did really good here. They came up behind Gallows and Anderson and attacked them before the match started. One of them gave Gallows a chop block, which, the big man, you want to take down his legs because that takes away the power. It doesn't really, but that's what they always say. So it was good to see that, and I thought that the match was pretty good. Still not as good as I think that these two teams could go together, but for a Raw match, not for a title, that's as good as we'll get. So I'm giving them matching up, and I believe that the Revival were the right people to win, even though I hate that Gallows and Anderson are still losing. I wish that they would have had the Revival going against someone else and also build up the club as well, especially since Balor Club's together. But it is what it is. Next, we had Kurt Angle come out, and this was a packed segment with a couple of different things. For the first thing, he announced that Ronda Rousey will be signing her Raw contract at Elimination Chamber. So this is interesting. This is showing that Rousey's going to be on Raw, which I guess puts to bed those rumors of Rousey versus Charlotte. at WrestleMania, unless they go with an uh, inter promotional match. But if you did that, I wouldn't expect it to be for the title. I don't know. So there is that. That is interesting. Um, and then also Angle announced that Jason Jordan, his fake son, of course, did have surgery on his neck after Raw of the last week, and he will be missing WrestleMania. Darn. I wonder if this is true. If he actually is going to miss WrestleMania, or if he's going to come and attack Rollins, which will bring on that match. I'd honestly rather him miss WrestleMania because I don't want to see Jordan versus Rollins. That's just me personally. Um, I of course am sad that Jordan's injured and to the extent that he might be. So we of course wish him a speedy recovery. Um, the crowd, wherever they were jerks because they started cheering that Jordan was injured, and I do understand Jordan um, was really good at playing his character, which was to not be liked. And so obviously you don't like his character, but he is a human being, and I wouldn't want to wish ill will on anyone. Um, I don't know. So Angle got kind of upset. And he was like, y'all are being jerks, and it was sad that the audience was being like that. But I mean, that's wrestling fans for you, I guess. And then Rollins came out and he said, you know what, since my tag team partner is injured, another one, um, I don't have anything to do. I can't go for the tag titles again. So I want an opportunity for the world title or the universal title. I'm sorry. And so he's like, let me be allowed in the fatal four way match um, at the main event. So I have a chance to go in Elimination Chamber. And Angle leaves it up to the WWE Universe, and the crowd was super into it, which is cool. I'm glad. And so Rollins was added in, making it a fatal five-way match for the main event. All this together, although it sucked that the crowd was evil by cheering Jason Jordan's injury, the whole thing was good, and it got what we needed. We learned that Rousey's being on Raw. She's signing at Elimination Chamber, which means something's happening at Elimination Chamber with her. Probably going to set up her match. I would assume set up her match at Mania. A lot of people are guessing that she'll go against Stephanie, or it'll be a intergender tag match between Stephanie and Triple H versus her, and possibly The Rock. None of those are matches I would enjoy seeing. But maybe it's what we get. I don't know. But and then Jordan letting us know about Jordan's injury, whether or not it's going to actually have him miss WrestleMania, I'm not sure. I like I I just don't want the match between him and Rollins. I hope he gets healed very quickly, but I hope that they decide to not go with that match. And then Rollins being in the main event sets up that. So all in all, this segment was really good, and so it's getting up. Next up, we had a match that was booked earlier, and it was Bayley versus Sasha Banks. This was a really good match, probably the best match that Bayley's had since coming to the main roster. Nowhere near, I would say personally, to their match at Brooklyn, Takeover Brooklyn a couple years ago, but still really good. I was surprised that Bayley won, but what I also very much enjoyed was that Sasha Banks was acting pretty heel, which is good because she works better as a heel, anyways. So all in all, the match was really solid, and it's getting it up. I'm very happy with the quality of some of these Raw women's matches that have been happening the last couple weeks. Next, we unfortunately go back down when it comes to the quality of women's matches on Raw, as we have a tag match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. This is getting it down. I didn't enjoy it. It's the same thing every week with Rose and Deville. It's Paige makes a distraction. They either win or lose, and then they beat up their opponent at the end. So this time they won, and then they start beating up Mickey James and Alexa Bliss, and then they run off, and it's not exciting. I don't enjoy these two. With Paige not being a wrestler anymore, at least as of now, it makes their team a lot less interesting, and and I don't understand it. I don't get the fact that they're both in the women's elimination chamber match. So obviously only one can win. So I don't get why they're not talking about that. That they just, whenever they've talked about the elimination chamber match, they're like, "We're gonna win." No, you two are not going to win. That's not how this works. So I don't know how that's gonna go. And then the whole Bliss and Mickey James thing with Bliss talking about uh, being on Mickey's side and all that. I don't believe that, but I also don't care. Like I thought the promos between the two of them were bad, so I just didn't enjoy it. So sorry, it's getting down. Next up, we have the greatest segment, maybe in the history of Raw, maybe in the history of the world. Yes, in the history of the world, this is the greatest segment. This is the greatest minutes few minutes that we've ever had in the world since the creation of the universe. Um, sorry, Adam and Eve, for whatever you think you might have done good with all your stuff, naming animals and stuff. Not as good as Braun Strowman. First of all, playing a giant bass that apparently is a double guitar. I don't know how that works. The bass. And then using said bass to crush Elias. It was genius. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was lovely. And each and every week, I fall more in love with Braun Strowman, and I think I want to marry Braun Strowman one day. That's about what I've gotten to. I want to marry Braun Strowman because I never want to have a time go by where I don't get to see amazing physical strengths and amazing hilarity in my life. I just feel like my life would be better with Braun Strowman in it. And so, Braun, if you're listening, this is my proposal. Uh, will you be mine forever? Thank you. I hope you will consider me. But this was great. Elias was, of course, good in his role, but the star bar none is Braun Strowman. He was hilarious playing the thing, and it just tore apart because he's so dang strong. And then uh, Elias trying to run away, he couldn't, and just it had to have hurt so bad. That huge bass crushing on Elias's back had to be really painful, but it was so awesome to see, and I just love Strowman's. I just love you, Braun. I do. I love you. On to things that are nowhere near as good as what we just witnessed, and we'll never witness anything as good as that until the next awesome thing Braun does, which will make me fall in love with him even more. We have Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, and of course this is a match we've seen 1.5 million times, but it was still really good. It's been a while since Reigns and Strowman, Reigns and see, I still am thinking about Strowman. I just can't not think about Strowman because I love him so much. He just fills my every thought. Um, it's beautiful. One day we'll have a movie come out of our love together about each other. It's going to rival that of Romeo and Juliet, the Titanic, all these romantic movies. We're going to kick their butts. Yeah, just you wait. Anyway, so Reigns and Sheamus, they of course have had a lot of matches in the past, though it has been a while since they've competed against each other, which is good. And this match was really good. It was hard hitting, really hard hitting actually, and both competitors looked really strong. Um, Cesaro got involved, and Reigns ended up with the win. It's pretty simple. It's getting up. Yeah, because it was good. Then we go into the main event, which was the fatal 5-way match for the last spot in the Elimination Chamber match. And the match was fantastic. Really, really good. I enjoyed it very much. So And so the match in its entirety is getting up. There were two things, though, that I did not like. The first thing, three things I didn't like. The first thing, Braun Strowman wasn't involved. That's terrible. Why'd you make this decision? Obviously, that makes no sense because Strowman's already in the match, but I think we could have worked that out. Anyways, but past that, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, they spent like near zero time in the match fighting each other. What they should have done, in my humble opinion, is because this rivalry that they are supposed to be having, which I'm not sure they're having anymore, they're supposed to be mortal enemies. They are supposed to have fought for eons or whatever in other vessels and all this stuff. But in this match, they literally, I think, may have done like 2 moves apiece on each other. And I get that there are 5 people involved, but you want to build stories. Neither of them were getting into the match, into the Elimination Chamber match, because they're in their own separate thing. And so you want to build on that by having them not give a crap about anybody else in this match, and they literally only care about each other. Literally make it where they don't want anyone else involved. They want it to be them, and that's it. If someone tried to come up to grab Bray, then have Matt like kill them, and the same for Bray. Like have them be literal mortal enemies because they say that. Like Matt and Bray have both said that in promos. The commentators have said that they're mortal enemies. They've literally not done a thing. They haven't done one thing at all to make me legitimately think these guys are mortal enemies. I don't even think, like looking at what they've done, I wouldn't even think that they don't like each other. Like they've literally, all they've done is looked at each other and grinned and laughed at each other. That's it. I would say that they were in love. If like it, they look like when I look at Braun Strowman. Like that's what I do. Like I just look at Braun and I laugh and I just fall deeper in love. That's what Matt and Bray are looking like. And so that is to me not how you build this just cosmic great war rivalry thing that they're supposedly building. So I would make it where the whole entire time the other 3 people involved are doing stuff in the ring, have the 2 of them brawling all throughout the ringside and the arena and up the ramp and just killing everything, just destroying like literal chaos, and have them just not care about this match and only care about killing the other. And that was not done. They barely even had anything to do with each other, and I think that's terrible booking. I think that like while this storyline could have been one of the greatest in the world of WWE history, it's not at all, and I could book it better. Ding! That's a gimmick infringement, I'm sure. But that whole thing with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt is getting it down. I think that's just really stupid that they haven't done better with that. And then the last thing that I hated about this match was the ending. So we have one of those stupid Tower of Doom things, which are so contrived. They happen in every multi-man match. If it's more than just a singles match, we always have a Tower of Doom. It's so stupid. It makes no sense. And so we have this Tower of Doom. Bray Wyatt was on top. And so Finn Balor and Seth Rollins both go for a pin. And this is, of course, the only time that anyone's ever been pinned by a Tower of Doom, because legitimately no one ever has in the history of ever. But what's even stupider is this referee is the dumbest person in the world, because he goes and counts the 1, 2, 3 when 2 people are pinning this man. And how in the world Finn and Seth didn't know that the other person was there? They were like literally almost touching. Bray Wyatt's not that big of a man that you couldn't have notice the other person. So that was stupid too. And then why would you count the 3 count, and then once the 2 get up and start celebrating, then you're like, oh wait, no, not like that's dumb. I get that they wanted to do this 7-man elimination chamber match. I get that that's what they wanted to do. They could have done it so much better. I thought it was stupid. The match before all that, and ignoring the Wyatt Hardy idiocy, was great. It was great. And I'm not sure what the heck they're going to do with this 7-man elimination chamber match. Are they going to build another pod? That I think would just look really awkward. Or are they going to start it off with 3 people in the ring at the start? I don't know. I don't think that's going to work the same. I don't know. I just think it's going to ruin the feel of the elimination chamber match. So I don't know. Not the way I would have booked it, but um, I don't know. It adds more star power, I guess. Um, so I don't know, but the idiotic referee counting 2 people at the same time, it's getting it down because you're so stupid. You should be fired, and Braun Strowman should take your job. So I can see more of Braun Strowman. But that was Raw. That was what I thought of Raw this week. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Raw. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you enjoy our content as a channel in general and you don't want to miss any of our content that we could put out in the future, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notified for every video that comes out. And we'll see you all very, very soon. But with that, I'm Parker from Wawa Echo, and I will see you very soon. Peace.